Hello, everybody, and welcome back to In Full Swing here with Connor and a very special guest, Reuben from joe.co.uk, who's going to give us a little bit of a profile on Rodrigo. Leeds, obviously, massively interested in Rodrigo at Valencia. Valencia in a massive trouble at the minute with financial implications, which as Leeds fans, we know all about from past endeavours. So we've got Reuben with us here. Reuben, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, very well, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. So I guess the first question, Reuben, with regards to Rodrigo is, well, on a basic level, what could we expect if he moves to Leeds United?
Well, you'd be getting a very good striker first and foremost. I think the best thing about him that would suit Leeds is that he's very complete as a player. Um, Back when he first joined Valencia, he played often from the wing, occasionally as a lone striker. Quite often in the last 3 years as one of a front two alongside Gamero or Maxi Gomez. So he can do a bit of everything. He's 29, so he's pretty much in his peak years. But he's quick. He works very hard off the ball, which is obviously very important for Leeds. And his link-up play is very good. So if you're looking for a cheap upgrade on Bamford, then I can't see many strikers better than Rodrigo for that job.
And you just mentioned there something that's obviously going to be in a lot of teams' mantra right now, and it's the economic price of a lot of players. I constantly talk about with this pandemic now, us offering clubs a lot less because clubs naturally cannot afford to be shelling out millions and millions of pounds. So with regards to Rodrigo, I think his market value is sort of 25 to 30 million, but surely you'd be expecting him to potentially even go for 15, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the players that Valencia have already let go this season, Ferran Torres has gone to Man City for around 20, 25 mil, and he had a release clause of 100 million euros. So that's how desperate Valencia are in this situation to get rid of basically anyone to get their wages off the books. I mean, they're in such financial dire straits that they've offered players IOUs in lieu of actual payment at the moment because they're struggling that much. They let Dani Parejo, their captain, go to Villarreal for free, so they don't have the leverage to dig their heels in and demand a big fee, basically. So yeah, you're looking at I would predict around 15 to 20 million, and assuming Leeds have got that money and are willing to spend it, like that would be very good investment from Leeds, I reckon.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, it's encouraging to hear, to be honest, Reuben, with regards to just getting someone for a cheap value, and obviously with him being such a good player. Now, with regards to him being 29, do you still think he can deliver at the top stage, even at that age?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ages where you buy a player where you think we might not be able to sell him on for more. Although that depends what happens to the market. If he has 2 great years at Leeds and then suddenly the market starts growing again, who knows who might come in and pay a little bit more for him. So I think it's relatively low risk in that sense. But at 29, he's not slowing down at all, really. He's still got plenty of pace and plenty of energy. So I think there's 2 or 3 very good years left in his legs, at least. So yeah, I don't think his age is really a problem, to be honest.
And obviously, the encyclopedia for all football knowledge is whoscored.com. And whoscored.com have said, Reuben, that he has no weaknesses. So I don't know if you can elaborate on that, but from what I've seen, I watched a fair few YouTube things on him as well. I've seen him play a couple of times. He looks the complete player going forward.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I mean, he is very complete. I think back to when I first started watching him play for Valencia around 2014 when he was on loan, I think, from Benfica and then joined permanently. If you were going to identify a weakness, you'd probably say it's his goal return. If you look at his pure numbers, hasn't been great, but context is obviously very important. So at the start, he was playing from the right wing when Valencia had Paco Alcacer and Negredo, believe it or not, ahead of him in the number 9 role. And then they moved on and he moved into the centre for a bit. He's also played as a 10. He's played from the left. He's played in the front too. So being moved around like that is going to mean that you don't score 25 goals every season. But if you look at his stats over the past 2 or 3 years, I think, let me just check. I think it was 17, 18. He scored 16 goals in La Liga, in a front two for a team that, are sort of were challenging for Champions League football. So that's a pretty good return. And I think the way Leeds play would obviously suit that that would probably help him get those numbers up. The amount of chances that they're going to create, and yeah, I mean whether he has weakness or not, he's very left-footed, but I've seen him score some goals with his right foot, so I wouldn't disagree with who scored there. It's just a matter of getting those chances created for him, and he should. I don't know what constitutes a good goal return for a striker in a newly promoted side. What 15 goals in the Premier League? Sort of you want. You can't see Bamford doing that. What did he get? 16 in the Championship. So yeah, I think he doesn't really have any weaknesses, and that's why Bielsa is probably so keen to bring him in.
And within the style that Leeds play, we can deploy a 3-3-1-3 formation, but naturally I think we're going to be playing the 4-1-4-1. As a lone striker, Bamford has improved, but I would agree with you. I don't think there's any sort of chance that he's going to be getting 16 goals in the Premier League for me. But with regards to Rodrigo, do you think he could come in and play that lone striker role well? Obviously, because there'll be times in the Premier League where he's completely isolated. Do you think he could do that sort of role?
Yeah, I do. I think he'll never tire of the pressing that he'll have to do off the ball. And he's more than capable of playing as a lone striker. He's done it for Spain a lot. I don't know whether you saw the Spain squad announced yesterday. He's the only number 9 in the squad. So Spain obviously trust him to play that role. Obviously, they will... Actually, no, it's not that obvious because they're going to be playing Germany. So I was going to say they'll have loads of the ball, but they probably won't. So I think it is a good indication that Rodrigo is trusted by other managers to play as a lone striker. The fact that he's the only striker in the Spain squad. And would definitely be able to do so for Leeds. I mean, you'll know better than me, but was he always a natural number 9? He ended up playing as a lone striker for you guys, didn't he? But he was converted from elsewhere, no?
Yeah. So the season prior, he was sort of acted as used as a winger, and then he was put up front. I don't think he ever really knew his place at Leeds, to be honest.
Yeah. So yeah, Rodrigo will definitely be able to do that role. Another aspect of his game that he's left-footed and so is Bamford, and I don't know whether that's complete coincidence or whether it's something that Bielsa, being as meticulous as he is in every detail of preparation, whether he wants a left-footed striker. I don't know whether that's completely irrelevant or not, but there's that similarity as well. And you could also trust him to take a good set piece if he. Given the fluidity of how Leeds play, I think if he ended up on the wing a lot with other players filling in the gaps that he leaves through the middle, he can whip in a good cross. So yeah, honestly, I think it'd be perfect. It'd be sad to see him leave Valencia because it's very indicative of their terrible situation. That, no offense to Leeds, a newly promoted Premier League side can take a player from a club like Valencia who have been in La Liga for God knows how long. But yeah, I think it'd be a great signing.
Yeah, and with his versatility, which it sounds like, I mean, that's a huge thing for Bielsa, knowing that, if that's why he naturally likes a small squad as well, because if he needs to put a player in another position, they would be able to cover that. And obviously, we saw it with Athletic Bilbao with just that small squad and players moving here, there, and everywhere. Is Rodrigo able to play sort of anywhere along that front line if needs be?
Yeah, definitely. He's... As I say, he's left-footed and he's a striker. So if you were going to play him on the wing, you'd probably want to play him on the right, so that he can cut in onto his strong foot. A lot like how Costa does that for you guys, right? Yeah. So he could play across the front line. And I'm not sure how many forwards you guys have got in your squad at the moment. I know Jack Harrison's staying, but yeah, that added versatility would definitely be a bonus for you guys.
And with the Spain squad as well, we were just talking about, levels in this game. I mean, just being picked in the Spain squad the other day. I mean, how highly regarded is he in that Spanish setup?
Yeah, I mean, he's very popular. He's been in quite a lot of Spain squads recently. I think he went to the World Cup. Obviously, there's been a lot of competition for that place in the Spain squad over the past few years, sort of in the post Villa Torres years. They had Diego Costa for a little bit, didn't really fit them. They've tried Morata, they've tried Paco Alcácer, they even had Iago Aspas, who after that terrible spell at Liverpool turned into one of the best strikers in La Liga at Celta Vigo. But despite all of that competition, he's managed to sort of maintain a place in the squad, probably down to his versatility because they don't really have that many natural wingers either. So yeah, he's very highly regarded in Spain. That's why he keeps on getting back into the national squad. And despite their, the large number of strikers at their disposal, he's the only one that's been picked for their upcoming friendlies, which I think is a very good sign.
Yeah, brilliant. And so overall, just to end this sort of little player profile, Reuben, you think that he would fit in very well with this Leeds United side and would be the man to fire us into the Europa League? What do you think?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Leeds want to finish in the top 10, right? I think they can definitely do a Wolves, so to speak. And, we saw how Leeds played against Arsenal in the Cup, which was a nice little window into their game for a lot of Premier League fans. So if Leeds want to be ambitious, this is the perfect signing for them to upgrade in that forward area and sort of guarantee a few more goals than you would be otherwise. Because the danger of not signing a player like this for Leeds would be to go into the Premier League, dominate quite a lot of games, and just not quite get over the line. Because, as you'll know, the defences in the Premier League they're going to be tougher to break down than the defences in the Championship, as good as Leeds are. And someone like Rodrigo will definitely help them do that. And as somebody who has affiliations towards Valencia, it's very sad to see a player go like that. But it's been happening all summer and will continue to do so. And if I could choose anywhere for him to go, it would be Bielsa's Leeds.